welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be making some focaccia art. It is a beautiful spring day. This is perfect for the springtime. I'm going to be making a bunch of different flowers and stuff like that, so it should be fun. It's both fun to bake and then also it's a fun way to get some like art in, and we're going to be making the flowers and stuff out of different vegetables. So first off, we need to get started with the bread because that needs a couple hours to rise. So let's begin. First off, we need to start off with our yeast. So we need 1.5 cups of warm water. It needs to be between 105 and 115 degrees. And then we need 2 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. And then 2 teaspoons of sugar. And we are just going to mix this up and get that going. Break up all the yeast in here, kind of all stuck together. And then we're gonna give this about 5 minutes to start really foaming up, and the yeast will be really activated by then. Okay, that is looking awesome. So I'm just going to set that aside so it has time to do its thing. And in the meantime, we need 3.5 cups of flour. I just got this new container. It is so much easier because of the large open mouth, and it's a lot quieter because you're not having to move the paper out of the way. There's 1. 2. 3. I need the 1/2. And then you need about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm just gonna give that a quick mix. Okay, and now we just wait until the yeast is done doing its thing. It will still need about 2 more minutes. Okay, now it is time to add our water and yeast and sugar into our flour. It really did foam up quite a bit, so that is a great sign of some really active yeast. So I'm just gonna pour this in. And then we're going to mix this up. This is gonna make quite a wet dough, so it's gonna be pretty sticky in the end, but we wanna make sure to get all of the flour incorporated. We're gonna wanna stir this for about a minute. All the flour is being really incorporated in. Get a little bit of an arm workout doing this. Okay, this has come together beautifully. It is quite sticky right now, as you can see, and it is the perfect consistency. So what we're gonna do is take a bigger, clean bowl and put some olive oil in the bottom, about 2 tablespoons worth. Okay, and we're just gonna kind of spread it out over the bottom, like so. And then I'm gonna take our dough. We want to make sure to get it all out of here. It will stick to your bowl pretty good, but it should come out fairly easy. Then we're gonna kind of get it in the oil, flip it around a couple times so it's all in there, and coating both sides of your dough. And then we're gonna put some plastic wrap over this and let it rest for 2 hours at room temperature. We want it to about double in size. Let me wash my hands first. We're gonna get some plastic wrap out. Oh, that actually poured pretty good. And we're just gonna put it on tight over the bowl. Okay, and there you have it. I want it somewhere room temperature or like slightly warmer than room temperature so that it will double in size. Okay, it has been almost 2 hours and our dough has definitely doubled in size. It is looking fantastic. So now it is time to get it on to our pan that we're gonna bake it in. Now metal would be best, but I do not have any metal pans this size, so I'm gonna be using glass. It will still work. First thing we're gonna do is add some olive oil to the bottom of the pan. That all spread around. And I did prepare most of my veggies too, so those are ready for me to go. Awesome. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to make sure your hands are clean, and we're gonna get all of this dough in here. Okay, and once you get that all in, you're gonna wanna stretch it out so it forms to the size of your pan. It might be a little bit tricky and want to kind of scrunch back in on itself. So if that keeps happening and you can't get it to spread out, you can kind of let it rest for 10 minutes and then try again to get it a little more spread out. My grandma's calling me. Call her back in a minute. So this is what you're gonna do. And then you are gonna put this back on top and you're gonna let this rise for about 30 to 45 minutes. And then I will see you then and it's time to decorate. Okay, it has doubled in size again. So it is time to take this off and then get to decorating. So first, I'm gonna remove this, add some olive oil on top. I'm gonna try to get it all over the place. You want about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more, depending on how much surface area you have. And then we're gonna dimple it down with our fingers. So clean hands, you're gonna wanna just put oil over it. It's gonna make some bubbles and looks something like that. We're gonna start to decorate. So I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. So right now I have my beautiful palette of veggies and I just grabbed my basil plant and the oven is preheated to 450 degrees. So once I get done, I can throw it right in the oven. So first, I'm gonna make some flowers. I'm using green onions as a stem. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make one kind of like this. Oh, these are gonna be so cute. This is such a fun idea for spring. Or you can do any kind, like I've seen people do all different kinds of things for all different kinds of seasons too. So you can get really creative with this. It's a lot of fun just to let a little bit of creativity off in your baking as well. Okay, so I'm gonna do something like that for one of them. And then I'm gonna do another stem. I want a shorter one. Break this up. I have these little red onions. I thought they could look kind of like a tulip. So I'm gonna put that there. And another one right next to it. I have a little tulip bouquet. So I'm gonna grab a tiny one here. These are adorable. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one here. And I feel like it needs one more. Let's do that one there. Do this size. Awesome, so I've made little tulip bouquet. And then let's see. Let this go a little more over here. And then right over here, I have kind of do like a sunflower, but I'm gonna do all 3 colors instead of just yellow. But let's start off with some red. Do our darkest underneath, so we're kind of just doing it like a star. Okay, and then we're gonna do some orange. And then yellow on top. So that's our lightest color. It's gonna be so good. And it looks adorable. So it would also be a fun project to do with family. Get everyone's creativity going. And then let's see. I'm gonna do one with some tomatoes. This one I wanna be a little bit shorter. We'll do that size. And then this one I'm gonna have them kind of climbing up like this. And then finally, I have some little capers that I figured I could use as seeds for like the center of this flower. Just give it a little bit of briny flavor, and then I'm gonna put some periodically through this thing. And this is so much fun too. You can choose the veggies you like or don't like. Like olives would be good for this too. Black olives, green olives, even kalamata. I'm not a big olive person. I like black olives, but not really any other kind. I kind of put in some pieces. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then, let's see. I'm gonna break up some of the tiny onions, kind of make like grass at the bottom too, so it's not so empty down at the bottom corner. They haven't mown their lawn yet. Tiny little one down here. want to make it look pretty and also fill up the space, but you don't want to get overcrowded at the same time. So just use your best judgment on what you think looks nice. Orange, use that one. And then for the rest of the leftovers, you can just snack on them. So good. And then finally, I have some basil leaves that I thought we could break off, some tinier ones. Let me go wash these off. Okay, and we're just gonna lay these throughout off of the stems. Loving this, and this will taste so good on it. But like I said, this is very customizable. You could even add like things, like I've seen people use yellow peppers and some black olives and do like these, or even like with the tomatoes, like I can put some, let's do that, put some up here, like this, and they can be little ladybugs. I have some balsamic glaze that once it's done baking, I'll put on those and make those into little ladybugs, and I'll fill in that space too. But yeah, it's just have fun with it and see what you like to do. Add what you like, don't add things you don't like, and just be creative with it. Okay, that is looking awesome. So it is looking so pretty. The last thing I'm gonna do, this is for flavor, I'm going to sprinkle on some kosher salt, just all over it so that it gives it that nice salty flavor. I love salt, so I'm not too shy about it. But if you don't want it to be as salty, don't add as much or don't add any. You can also add a lot of herbs like thyme or rosemary and stuff. Just get creative with it. So it is time to bake. This needs to go in the oven for about 20 to 22 minutes. We'll see how it's going. And then I'll show you the final product. But oh, I love how cute this is. This turned out so cute. Okay, time to bake. Okay, it has been a little over 22 minutes and we're going to take this out of the oven. Green onions got a little crispy, but it still looks very pretty, so I'm very happy with how this turned out. So I'm gonna let this cool for about 15 minutes and then we're gonna take it out of the pan and then cut it up and try it out. Okay, it is finally out of the oven and all cooled down, so it is time to give it a try. So first off, I'm gonna put a couple polka dots on my little ladybugs with some balsamic vinegar glaze. Let's see if I can, just using a little toothpick to kind of dot it on. Okay, that is looking awesome. So here is the finished one. Okay, here's an up close of the finished product. It turned out so cute. You can see the little polka dots on the little ladybugs. Okay, so I'm gonna transfer it over to my cutting board and then we're gonna give it a try. Came out of there beautifully. That's a good sign. Okay, let's see. Probably wanna do the top corner. A little hard to cut without ruining the pattern, but just make sure to show it off before you cut it up. Sounds nice and crispy on the outside. Okay, let's give this a try. This is really good. The bottom has a lovely crunch to it. The top didn't get quite as crispy as it does if there's no veggies on top. I'm guessing because the veggies are full of liquid, so it kind of steams it a little bit. But the bottom is still really crispy and the sides are still really crispy. And the taste is amazing. It tastes so good with the peppers on top too. Adds a nice flavor to it. And then the salt that I put all over it was really good too. Here, you get the tomato. That one had a nice sweetness to it. So I am very happy with how this turned out. And it's so fun and it looks gorgeous too. So this is a very fun baking activity. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Mm.